Welcome. I'm Coach Natalie, and you're here for another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Today we're going to cover Kesa Gatame, a position also known as the scarf hold, or head and arm. I'm going to be assisted here by Sally, my dummy. So let's get started. The Kesa Gatame position is arrived at by you being on your knees opposite from your partner. In this case, Sally's on her knees. We start off just like a lot of jiu-jitsu matches. You're grabbing the lapel of your partner, or in this case your dummy, grabbing the gi behind your opponent's elbow. Okay, let's break it down. As I stated previously, a lot of jiu-jitsu matches will start on their knees. In this case, both of you are on your knees. Normally would be grabbing the lapel, trying to get your opponent's gi sleeve. This starts off the very same way. Now, at a certain point, I'm going to pivot on my inside knee. I'm going to overhook the head, and I'm going to really secure the arm of my opponent. I'm now going to forward drive, landing in a hurdler's position and grabbing behind my own knee. Now, the good thing about this is, it's a pretty stable position for me. I'm going to make it more stable by really making sure that my butt is several inches away from my partner here. Again. High five, bump, grab, pivot, drive forward, and they're in your side control. Now, some of the common mistakes that people will make is they're sitting up too high over their dummy. If she can get her head back onto the floor, she could arch and roll me over. And we certainly don't want that. Again, position. Notice that my foot is right behind my dummy's head. Again, if my feet were over here, it'd be easy to be bridged and rolled. Okay, so there are two submissions, many submissions from this position, but we're just going to work on two common and easy ones today. So, the first one's called the unicorn choke. So let's just say, got Sally here in a good position. Now, remember I have my hand covering the muscle right behind my knee. Also, I'm trapping Sally's forearm underneath my underarm. First thing I'm going to do is loosen this arm. Tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. The unicorn choke got its name, I think, because of this single arm sticking up like a unicorn's horn. So, let's just say you're in this Gatame position. You want to free this arm up. It's been underneath your underarm. You're going to hip up and free that position. You're going to hold down as low as you can, trapping this arm near her face. The big thing is now you're going to get on your feet with your stomach pointing towards the ceiling, and you're going to start to move back. And as you do, you're pressing on her diaphragm. She can take a breath in, but she can't get any more air after that. This is a diaphragm choke. Again, now, one of the common mistakes that people will make is that they're not getting as low as they can on the arm. It's okay to just flip it over and trap it, but it's okay then later on to adjust yourself. The bigger problems that people will make when they do this is that when they start to go back, they're resting on their partner's shoulder. Well, you're never going to tap someone else just pressing on their shoulder. But if you can lean back further onto their diaphragm, that's where you're going to get the pressure. This is a kind of a pressure choke as well too. So again, tap, tap, tap. Okay. The second submission we're going to learn is a head and arm, and it's the setup is similar. So your dummy or your opponent here would be framing, trying to frame away. If they can get their butt out, then they can shrimp, they can create some space, they can hopefully get out of this position, maybe even try to get to the back. A lot of times the reason why people don't like the Kesa Gatame is that if they escape, they can get an underhook and get right to your back. So that is a downside. Now, if you have good enough pressure, they're not going anyplace. So I'm not too worried about that. So next thing I'm going to do is, as I said, head and arm. So you're going to be again, and maybe I'll show it from a different angle here. Okay, let's break it down. So, the unicorn choke started with the idea that they had their hand underneath your underarm. In this case, they're framing, trying to frame your chest, trying to get the shrimp, no problem. You're going to shuck it off and trap their arm across their neck. You're going to do that by holding their arm with the side of your face. Now going to get a gable grip, and instead of the feet being in front of the body, you're now going to move them to the back of the body. You're on your own toes. You're not resting any part of your body except the side of your face against their arm and your toes. And now you start pushing forward, north. Again, seen from this angle. framing, shuck it off. Trap. You're now making a sandwich between your bicep, their head, their arm, and your head. Nice low on their arm. Gable grip. Reverse the direction of your own feet. And now start moving forward. You're going to be pressing their arm across their neck, kind of like in a triangle choke. You know, it's not like the power of your thighs, but it's also, you know, they're being choked by their own arm. Some common mistakes made in this position are on this way, shucking it, going forward, and resting on your knee. No, no, no. They want to feel all of your pressure. So this, I'm completely sprawled on my active toes. Second mistake that people make is, sure, when you first frame, you're just trying to trap that arm is as anywhere, just to trap it with your head. But especially as you get lower, it's okay to readjust. So you're really trapping their arm low on their arm, not being too high on their arm. If you have a partner, great. Having a partner would be great, especially with the unicorn choke. They can really tell you if you're, you know, pressing on their diaphragm. In this case too, you know, pressure is believing, but if you love pressure taps like I do, I love this one, and it's like super simple. So thank you again for being with me for another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. I hope you really appreciated learning a little bit more about this often underused position and submission. Again, feel free to reach out to me through the Natalie Woodson Jiu Jitsu page. And thank you again for joining me for another episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies.